Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Alright, let's go ahead and see what these crows are saying to us. Thank you, Spirit. What's the message for this beautiful being? Routine. This came out on the side, on the fence. So there might be something about your routine that you're wondering about if you should switch it up, okay? Or what I'm getting is looking at all these crows. It feels like there could be pressure from someone to change your routine. Okay, so if you make a change in your routine, make sure that it's because you're divinely guided to do so. You know that it's just inside of your heart to do that, or it's something that you just want to do, you know? Do it for you. I'm also seeing them flying in one direction and then in another, and that reminds me of the change in the seasons. When the climate changes, the birds go where they need to go. And so there may be changes that you feel that you need to make based on the season that you're in your life, based on certain circumstances in your life. But it's still something that you're doing because you want to do it, not because someone else is forcing you to, okay? Yeah, there might be some fear that someone's trying to put in you. Or there might just be some fear that you feel about making a change. I'm getting the word domination. So there might be someone who's trying to dominate you at this time, trying to influence your decision. But you're able to do what you know is right for you, okay? You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. Whatever fear it is that someone is making you feel, or whatever fear it is that you feel inside of you, it's an illusion. It's not real, okay? Once you make this change, you are going to be just fine. You're going to continue, you're going to keep going, and you're going to keep living your beautiful life. Nothing is going to tumble or crumble, okay? Because you're making a decision based on what you feel and what you feel guided to do. And that's what you're supposed to do, okay? Growth, yeah, exactly. Whatever change it is that you make, it's going to lead to your growth. So you don't have to fear anything. Okay. Alright, I did want to pull from this deck. Let's see what's coming through for you. Yin and yang. You're balancing your... Okay, this is all about balance. Whatever changes it is that you're making at this time is because you're bringing balance to your world. 22 there. All right, you're balancing your masculine and feminine energies. For some of you, you're attracting a relationship with someone. 333, you're collaborating with someone. And so this brings about changes in your world. Necessary changes. You might be moving because you need more space. You might be expanding your family. For some of you, you might be growing a family and you need more space. You want to improve your environment. Maybe you want a safer environment for your children or for you, okay? But you're bringing balance and harmony into your world, okay? On the bottom, financial constraints. So if there are some financial constraints that you're experiencing, we've got right after that first chakra. This is Archangel Michael, who will help you with your root chakra protection and support. What he's bringing is protection as you make moves to create more abundance in your life. I'm getting that scared money doesn't make money. Scared money doesn't make money. Okay, I was watching, what's that cooking show? Hell's Kitchen. I like that show. And one of the guys on there, he was like, yeah, scared money doesn't make money. I was like, I like that. You know? It's like pushing past fear in order to make bolder moves regarding your finances. That's something that Archangel Michael is helping you do, is to make bolder moves regarding your money so that you are able to attract more money to you, because you're putting yourself out there and not fearing anything. You're just reaping the abundance that you know you are aligned with. Okay? Okay, let's get into some cards. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, this right here, father. Some of you might be a father, or you are working with a father. This is, I'm getting like a family, 555 on the timer. There are changes that are coming to your family. You might be a parent, you know, you might be becoming a parent, or you're expanding your family. That keeps coming through. Their goal was to shut down and close off your heart chakra. So there's someone in your life that you connected with at one time who wanted to shut down your heart chakra. But look, it's written in green. Your heart chakra is vibrant and it's beautiful. This could, for some of you, be a relationship with a father where you had an experience with them where you felt that your heart chakra was impacted. It was. If that's what you felt, then that's what happened. You know, the way that that came out, it may have been that someone has tried to make you think that this situation wasn't a big deal. Okay? Because that's kind of how it came out. It was like, you may have felt that your heart chakra was impacted in this way. Well, it was. But there's someone here in your realm who has tried to make you think that something in your life that happened that was a monumental event. It was huge. And it changed you. But they wanted to sort of downplay the effect that it had on you. They didn't want you to think that it was such a big deal. I'm getting that for some of you, you may have talked to a Catholic priest, a father, who did not give you sound advice. Okay? This could be, it doesn't even have to just be in the Catholic religion. It could have been a minister or preacher who gave you really awful advice. And this advice, it was shutting down your heart chakra. It was awful advice. Can I get more on this, Spirit? What's this advice? They're saying use these. Okay. I was going to use the tarot on top of them, but let's go. What was this advice? Tell us more about this situation where they were given terrible advice. Hustle mode. Catfish. Okay. So you may have had an experience because of financial constraints. Okay. Where that came through. That you were given really awful advice regarding a move to make where a catfish was involved. Okay. I'm very curious now. They said look at that one. Wake up call. There was a wake-up call that you had regarding a situation regarding money and some really bad advice that you got. What else, Spirit? What does this beautiful being need to know? There's a hopeless romantic and someone who experienced breadcrumbing here. So somebody was... I feel like this was a situation where you experienced catfishing and you believed them. You believed this person because you wanted to, and they ended up breadcrumbing you and taking advantage of your romantic energy. But you had a wake-up call. You may have received advice that told you to trust this person or to give them a chance. And maybe you wish that you had gotten the wake-up call sooner. You're breaking a cycle here of giving someone your energy that didn't deserve it. Yeah, you're making money moves in a brand new direction. Maybe this person that was online, you gave them money, or they were able to siphon your energy. Okay, this is what I'm getting for some of you, that it wasn't necessarily that a catfish was taking your money, but they may have been taking away the energy that you could put into making money. So they were distracting you. It could have been a person who was even pretending to be someone who was interested in your services, or someone who was, like, if you provide services to people, okay? It could have been a person who pretended to be interested in your business, or who wanted to grow with you financially and invest in you, okay? It didn't have to be romantically inclined, this interaction between you and this person. It could have just been that they were 11:44 on the timer, that they were pretending to want to invest in your business, okay? But you're making money moves in a different direction now. You're going in a different direction. Yeah. You're making money in a different way. You've got your goal set on, or your mind set on different goals now. You're letting something go. You're releasing grudges. You're giving yourself the power of emotional freedom. And you're forgiving yourself and others. You freed your heart from whatever captivity this was that you felt shackled by. Okay, whether this was an actual father, a biological father, or someone who you received advice from, who was like a minister or something like that, who gave really terrible advice. Or if this was someone who was pretending to be, you know what I'm getting is that for some of you, this catfish could have said that they were going to invest in you and in your life. If you are a single parent, they could have promised to support you. There are people like this all over the internet who hone into a person's needs and tune in to what it is that they need, or what it is that they feel that they're lacking in their life, and they promise to show up as all of that. Whatever it is that they need, whether it's support, a source of financial support, or a source of romantic connection, whatever it is that they feel that that person needs, they promise to be all of it. And I feel like that's what was going on here. And it's not that you're not able to tune in and be a source of your own abundance. It's that this person was harnessing your energy so that you were redirected from the path that's really right for you to generate abundance. You're able to generate abundance like it's nothing. You can tune in. You know, that green, I'm getting that for the heart chakra, but I'm also getting that for your abundance. You're naturally abundant. But there's an experience here that distracted you from your own potential to create abundance in your world. And it got you off your path towards abundance. But you're getting back on your path. You're getting back on your path. I feel like you're well on your way. They were warned many times. So whoever this was that targeted your energy, they were warned many times not to mess with you. They tried to hide evidence that would prove what they did to you. I'm getting that they tried to hide their identity. There's someone here who did not want to make known who they were. For some of you, whoever this was that was catfishing you, they knew you in real life. But they wanted your attention. They wanted to harness your abundant energy. And so they pretended to be someone else and they distracted you from your goals. And this person, because they knew you in real life, they knew what your goal was, that you wanted to create abundance, create wealth for yourself, for you and the people that you love. Okay, I'm getting that some of you have children. So this person's karma is going to be extremely gruesome because they not only took away your focus from creating abundance and wealth for yourself, but also for the people that depend on you, your children, whoever it is that you support. Thoughts. Yeah, this person is definitely thinking about you and they're sitting around aging. They're feeling old. They feel like they've aged themselves because they have thought about you so obsessively. This is someone who's extremely obsessed with you. Oh, wow. There's someone here who is obsessed with pedophilia. Okay, if this is a father or someone who tries to act in masculine energy, this could be someone who was trying to access or to gain access to your family. I'm getting that for some of you, you are a single parent. You might be a single mother. And this is a person who tried to catfish you. And they distracted you with promises of romance. They breadcrumbed you, giving you the bare minimum. You were in hustle mode. You were ready to go. And I feel like when you met this person, you were getting your game plan together, or you were moving in a really positive direction. Show us what happened here, Divine. Give us more regarding this situation. Okay, they're saying to use this deck. Show us what happened in this situation. Knight of Swords, Eight of Wands. Yeah, there was a lot of communication here. There was somebody who was all talk with this Knight of Swords. And they came in like with Eight of Wands. Lots and lots of communication. I'm hearing like lots of notifications, like ding, 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 ding. Like they were constantly talking to you. And this was to get you wrapped up in a cycle of expecting to hear from them. And they wanted to build up your expectations, but Divine, what was this person's intentions? Eight of Cups, to walk away. They never had the intention of truly building with you. What was this person's intentions with this beautiful being? Wow. Seven of Swords, trickery, lies, and deceit. And to be a burden. And you know what I'm seeing here is with that bear, I'm seeing a mama bear. They wanted to like be a burden to the mama bear. Or to whoever it was that needed to focus on their responsibilities. Now with that card that came out, that's what I'm getting as the Seven of Swords. That was their goal. Was to distract you and your desire to be there for your family. They wanted to distract you with false promises. And they wanted to come in and harness the energy of your loved ones. And then they wanted to leave. This is filthy. What else, Spirit? Yeah, they're coming through again as a Knight of Swords. This could have been a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be. But they were all talk. And with that coming out before with the Eight of Wands, this person was constantly like all talk. It's like they were trying to be smooth with it, you know? Show me more about this person. They may have promised you a Ten of Pentacles. They may have promised you a home, family, provision, financial provision. Yeah, but see, Ten of Pentacles, the only family that they wanted, you see those kids there? That was their ulterior motive. And even if they wanted to start a family with you, because some people target a lover simply in order to create this type of a family dynamic where they have full access energetically to the children. It is so dark and demented and disgusting, these intentions that people act from or act with or are motivated by, but it happens. 2111 on the timer. This person wanted to use your balance that you had achieved and attained in your life for their selfish purposes, for their selfish desires. Yeah, they're seen here as a Page of Wands. It's like they're a child themselves. This person is stuck in their childhood years where they were, their energy was harnessed illegally, and they're stuck there. They're still living in that space where they are still a child who is being traumatized, and that is how they want to move forward with their life, is continuing that cycle. That's how they process their pain or their experiences from their past. And so they targeted you. Yeah. This has led to 2222 on the timer. Balance is being restored for you. And I see that also with these two cups here on either side. Even though this is the Five of Cups, this is a lot of regret. You may have a lot of regret about your the time that you gave this person, the energy that you allowed them to harness, because you see them now as what they are. They're a devil. They're completely governed by their lower self. And you see here, they're like in the fetal position. This person is stuck in a very infantile state. They have never grown up. And yes, they were targeted as a child. They were traumatized as a child, and they suffered abuse as a child. And they are perpetuating this cycle instead of healing. Divine is not recommending that you maintain any sort of connection with this person, because that was clear to me when breaking the cycle came through. Where was that? It was the card Breaking the Cycles. Divine really wants you to part ways with this person. You don't have any obligation to try to heal them. What is this person's intentions? I see here date at the bottom. They may have told you that they wanted to date you and court you. You know what I'm getting is that they got to a certain place where they may have gotten to like an extent with you, a level with you that they never thought that they actually would. And then they freaked out. So for some of you with that Eight of Cups, they may have actually left because they realized, and maybe it got down to like where it was time to meet or time to present themselves. They never thought that it would get that far. I'm getting that for some of you, you knew this person in real life. And so they knew that their time to manipulate you had run out. It's like they realized that they were living in this fantasy world. They wanted to start this family with you or take advantage of your family that you already have. And it's like they got to a certain level in the process of connecting with you where they realized, oh, this can never happen because I'm not who I've said that I am. And it's like they woke up from this dream that they were having. It's very crazy. And that could be where some of the regret comes. If you're feeling regret, where you're like asking yourself the question that everybody who gets catfished asks themselves, how did I fall for this? But you have to understand that these people who spend time and energy catfishing people, they invest an unusual amount of energy into trying to trick people. And while you're going about your business, doing your divine work and connecting and nurturing and tending to things and going about your daily life, you're not sitting there trying to turn your wheels to figure out how to convince somebody that you're somebody different. Like, this is basically a criminal who puts all of their time, energy, and effort into figuring out how to fool people. So that's why it happened. It didn't happen because you're foolish. It happened because they put an unusual amount of energy into trying to trick you. What is this person's intentions? Goodbye. Yeah, the time has come to part ways. But I'm getting that this person always wanted to say goodbye. It's almost as if they had the goal, like this, that's what they want. This being able to harness your energy and to harness the energy of your children if you already have them, or to start a family with you just to utilize your children's energy in an evil way. Like, that's what they wanted all along, but they never planned it out in a way that they could actually make it happen. Thank God, thank Goddess, right? But it's like they had to say goodbye. It's almost as if they were doing this also to practice. Okay, this was in the reverse, dishonesty. I will withhold information from you for my benefit. Now, they felt really guilty about doing this because it was in the reverse. They know that they're wrong for doing it. Also, this person is envious of you. I will seek to undermine your successes as a means of elevating my own standing. So they were trying to undermine you and your accomplishments, which I had already seen that when this person came along and started investing in you, you were already on a very good track. Some of that regret, that Five of Cups, might be coming from the fact that you feel like you got off track. You didn't lose anything. You gained this experience because somehow you're going to use this experience to help other people. Okay? Yelling, I'm mad at you, I'm unhappy, and I want you to feel as badly as I do. So this person is very angry. But also why that's coming through is because Divine is saying that this person is very emotionally unstable. They do not want you to continue to invest any energy. Okay, that's like coming through so clearly. Not any energy in them. Okay? Not any. Show us more, Spirit. What's coming through about this experience that this beautiful being needs to know? Gains, increase, level up. Yeah, see, they can't stop you. You're still going to make gains. And I feel like that's something that you're looking at because you're a very driven person. You're very like, you know where you're going, but you just felt like you entered this world of like this crazy person's world for a while. And it was a little detour. You know, we do that in life. We're well on our path. And then we take a little detour and we meander a little bit. We're going around and around. It's all to learn a lesson, and then we get back on track, and that's where you are now. Okay? So you're making gains. All right? This person wanted you to be a beta, but you're not. They wanted you to be a follower. They wanted you to be... They wanted to be able to dominate you. Yeah, they wanted to be able to dominate you. It's game over for them. It's so game over. Divine, what's going on with this person now? Like, what's their karma? What are they? What I'm getting is that eventually they're going to attempt to make a change, okay? And this is what they were always attracted to in you, was your light. They see you as a deity, all right? They see your adaptability, and that's what they wanted, but they weren't willing to do the work themselves. They wanted to attach themselves to you, but also try to manifest their own evil intentions through you. Yeah, this person might work a job and live a seemingly normal life. So they're fooling people every day as to who they are. Huh. I hope they don't have a job that's related to children, because they shouldn't be anywhere near children at all. This person has a lot of guilt and remorse about what they do and about what they've done to you. They're definitely feeling it, and they see that what they've done, they consider what they did as like intellectual theft. Like they took your time, your energy. They took away energy and effort that you would have been putting into if you have a business or your career. They know that they distracted you, and they feel terribly about this. They really do. And they should. They should. Every bit of remorse that they have, they should feel. This person has created financial blockages for themselves. If you felt like 3111 on the timer, if you felt like you had suffered financial blockages because of what this person did, just know that that is what they are reaping, because that's what they have sown with you. Okay? So this person, I do get that they are working a job. They either have a business or they're working a job, but they're trying to conceal themselves as just an everyday person who has, you know, I'm just going about my life, which that's what a lot of these people who have evil intentions like this do. It's not like they go around with a tattoo on their forehead saying, I harm children, or whatever it is that they do. They don't rat themselves out, okay? So they're trying to fit in, but they're having more and more difficulty doing this because of the load of guilt that they're carrying. And they're also suffering because the blockages that they temporarily presented to you in your life, they are now reaping that as their karma. This person could be a Taurus or have significant Taurus energy in their chart, okay? Yeah, this person is a whole caution, warning, danger, okay? All of the above. And I'm getting that other people are starting to pick up on this. Other people are starting to pick up on this about this person. There's something, I'm getting this intuitively, there's something that this person has said about their experience with you that has led someone in their life to believe that they are a danger to other people. And there are other people in their world that are starting to just get, I'm getting this, like, they get the heebie-jeebies. You know, it's like they know that they're not right. They know that there's something off about this person, because remember, it came through before that this person is very emotionally unstable. So when that yelling card came through for you, yeah, they want to yell at a lot of people because they're angry at themselves. They're angry at how they've been dishonest. They're angry about their envy towards you. Okay? Tell us more, Spirit. This person initially wanted you to be a friend, an ally, a confidant. But they started to allow their wicked ways and their addictions to take over whatever positive intentions they had, and it just got way out of hand. They started imagining what they could create with you, but for their own evil purposes and evil intentions, and they were not thinking about what you would want at all. They knew what you would want, which was a healthy connection where a person would love you and love the family that you started together if you chose to start a family, but that wasn't at all their priority or their intention. Okay, this could be a Sagittarius or a person who has a good amount of Sagittarius energy in their chart, highly aspected in their chart. Or that could be you, because sometimes your energy will come through as, you know, whatever sign comes through, okay? Take it how it resonates. All right, I'm going to pull a couple of these cards. I'm feeling drawn to this deck. Thank you, Divine. What guidance do you have for this beautiful being? What guidance do you have for this beautiful being? Yeah, you might be feeling anger. This is also a really good thing for you to do right now, is to take some classes or just get a punching bag. You know, get something that you can just let your anger out on, because that feels so good. You know? You can take your anger out in a healthy way. Beat the shit out of a punching bag, okay? Or take some self-defense courses. That might help you to reinforce your boundaries as well, okay? This could be someone that you were involved with that was a fallen twin flame. For some of you, it could be a false twin flame. I consider them fallen, because at some point in your evolution, there is a possibility for you to, and it could take many lifetimes, but to learn from these experiences and then unite together. But at this point, this person, if they are a soulmate to you, a soulmate of any sort, they have fucked up so much to the point where there is no way. Like Divine is even saying, you're supposed to be in separation for the indefinite future. Okay, there should be no plans to ever reunite with this person again. They have overstepped boundaries. They have plotted against your divine energy for their selfish desires and their addictions that are not only illegal, but completely immoral. So no, there's no room for that. But you might feel some type of way with those cords there. So cord cutting. And remember, cord cutting, that work has to be done over and over again. You could have like a playlist of cord cutting videos and use maybe a ritual blend that's for cut and clear or cord cutting. Like layer the energy of cord cutting and use it daily. You can have an affirmation written on your mirror with like dry erase marker and say that thing every day when you get out the shower, after you've cleansed yourself, or you know what I'm saying? Like have certain rituals put into place where you're constantly cutting cords. That is the work that we must do. A lot of people wish that they could just dab some oil on their pulse points, say an affirmation, and then hey, the cords are cut. It doesn't work like that. These are cords that have bonded and drawn together over millennia. So it's not going to happen in one ceremony. You can go into the rainforest in Costa Rica and have a beautiful shamanic ceremony. When you come back home, you're still going to have to do some cord cutting. It just is how it's how it works. But that routine that you create is where the healing comes, because it's about your dedication to cutting those cords that does in fact weaken those cords. And what you'll notice is that over time you will think less and less about that person. They will pop up on your radar less and less, because divine is also going to help move them away from you. So certain things, you know, somebody might have a health issue. Ooh. I mean, you know, it's not that we wish that on people, but if they continue to push up on your energy and want to be on your radar when what divine is calling for is for those cords to be cut, then they're going to have some experiences that they will not be very happy about. But those experiences are going to assist you with that cord cutting. If they don't want to cooperate and remove themselves from your life, divine will have them removed from your life. Divine will do the work, okay? But it's important that we remain dedicated to cutting those cords. Divine is saying to surrender. I'm seeing with this ocean here, that's Yemaya's energy, the mother of all. Surrender to what is, surrender to the flow. Know that whatever has happened, it has happened, and that is a learning experience, and you will be able to assist. You know, this is information that you're going to be able to give your children at some time, at some point, in order to help them, to help guide them so that they are not caught off guard by someone's evil intentions. You become so much wiser because of this, you know? And if you are a single parent, let's just address right there how difficult a job that is. Because parenting, I don't care what anybody says, it takes 2 people to create a baby. It takes 2 people to raise a baby. And I'm not saying that one person can't raise a child, but it is a job that was meant for 2 because it requires so much work. I know that we like to think that we're, you know, we can do everything, but do you really want to have to do everything? Would you not want some help? So that is a very difficult job. And if you are a single parent, I applaud you because you're doing a very difficult job that truly, it's enough work for at least 2 people. I'll put it that way. All right. And I know my mom was a single mom, but it's tough. And so when you are presented with that much work that you have to do just to make sure that your children survive and that they thrive, it can lead us to be in a situation where sometimes we believe things that are unbelievable, or we receive help from or promises from certain people that don't really have our best interest at heart. Okay? So just give yourself that. You are doing something that is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. And you've learned something that will make this experience so much safer for you and yours as you move forward. Okay, music is going to be healing to you at this time. Music, this could be healing frequency music or just a playlist that you really like, something that boosts your vibe. It doesn't have to be healing frequency music, although that's really great for clearing the energy and raising your vibration, which is very important. But whenever you just feel like dancing or feeling happy or maybe even crying, you might have a playlist for when you feel like crying. You can do that too. Dignity. Know that whatever this person has done, it did not take away your dignity. You are still a dignified, beautiful being with a high vibration and a path of abundance. They can never take that away from you. Connecting with spirit animals will be very useful to you at this time. You might want to check out the deck, the Spirit Animal deck by Kim Kranz. It's available on Amazon. You can get it for under $12. The little tin, it comes in a little tin box. It's amazing. You can pull that every morning to see what spirit animal is coming to you for support or for a lesson. I love it. Okay? I'm not affiliated, but I love it. All right, let's go ahead and get, I'm feeling Mama Oshun for closing this reading. Because Yamaya came through with that ocean. So I'm feeling the water energies for cleansing and intuition and balance and healing. Thank you, Mama Oshun. What message do you have for this beautiful being? Ooh. Oshun of Mother's Milk. This is card number 41. Nurturing, harvest, and prosperity. Okay, check, check, check. Because that's what this person did, was led you for a bit to doubt your, perhaps your connection to your intuition, perhaps your role as a parent, and your connection to your prosperity. But they can't have any of that. They can't have any of that. And then you've got 39, Oshun Rising, Awakening, Enlightenment, and Insight. And that's the thing, is that you have gained so much insight from this experience. I guarantee you, you're going to use this as an opportunity to teach other people about the pitfalls of perhaps people who catfish, single parents, or anyone else who is vulnerable for whatever reason, thinking that there's someone who is being dishonest, but you know, maybe there's a chance that they're being truthful. 4444 on the timer. You're going to bring a lot of protection to people because of your experience. All right, Oshun of Mother's Milk. I embrace the abundant harvest. This is a time of receiving. When LaShawn of Mother's Milk graces your reading, you are entering a season of harvest and abundant rewards. Your hard work, patience, and nurturing have borne fruit, and now is the time to relish the gifts and blessings that come your way. Now you need to nurture all that you have cultivated. This is a fertile period of fullness and satisfaction. The divine is pouring, quote-unquote, mother's milk of abundance and nurturing into your life. What to do now? Take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come and to express gratitude for the bounties you're about to receive. This nurturing goddess energy extends to soul care and compassion for yourself. As you welcome the flow of abundance, remember to honor your own needs and well-being. Allow yourself to receive the nourishment, love, and support that you deserve. To make the most of this abundant time, prioritize your self-care routine. Set aside time each day for activities that rejuvenate you, whether it's meditation, a nature walk, or relaxing with a good book. Share your prosperity by helping others, whether through acts of kindness or supporting a cause that you care about. Cherish this time of abundance and allow it to replenish and rejuvenate your spirit. Okay? And what's coming to me is that with this Oshun Rising card, the more that you care for yourself, the more that you love yourself, and the more that you align with that abundance that you so naturally have access to, the more enlightenment you're going to have about this experience that you've been through, the more insight you're going to gain about what you've gone through. Okay? You are so beautiful, and I'm so grateful that you tuned in to this reading. I hope that it gave you clarity and insight and good vibes, and I love you. I wish you peace, joy, and so many blessings. Take care.